Welcome to another edition of Set the Trend, the podcast that documents street sounds, history and culture and lifestyle over the last 25 to 30 years. And we have a very ginormous podcast today where we have one of the biggest promoters, definitely top 3, and we'll see if they're top 1 today. Because there's a few more out there and I don't want to disrespect anybody else. So here we are today and I'm here with my fellow presenters. Reggie.
Yeah, mate. Yep. My pocket's a bit more fatter this week.
Use that word.
Sorry, my wallet. Yeah. After
that
last
wasn't the
time.
word I was thinking either.
Oh, right, okay.
But that's a nice Caribbean shirt you have.
Oh, you stole that from somebody. Cheers, mate. You know.
Caribbean show.
Welcome, Mistri. Then. How are you?
I'm good.
All good?
Yeah,
It's
all
a nice pink shirt you got back on again.
Yeah. No, not that.
Oh, it's a new one. Sorry. It's just pink. It's the colour pinky, but it suits you. Well, I'm trying to be like that. And we have, as I said, like one of the biggest promoters that we've had in the scenes. They were the new kids on the block, but that was many years ago. So I've got to say welcome to Brandy and Champagne Promotions, BCP, Martin BCP, Addy BCP, Alex BCP, and the newest member of BCP,
Online, Dionne BCP.
Dionne BCP. Welcome to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For having us.
Good man, it's good to have you guys here, and ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's funny, when we look at promotion, and we look how the game's kind of changed over the years, you've managed to kind of evolve with it.
Yeah.
Why? How?
Foresight, I think, being creative, like the different stuff that we do. We always wanted to find venues. I think one of the things we wanted to do at the time was look for different venues. Don't use the same venues all the time. And ideas. Martin's always got an idea of mine. We'll go, I've got this idea to do this. We go, yeah, right. Try it out and it'll work.
So Martin has all the ideas.
No, not all the ideas. Martin gives the impression that he's BCP. He is, but it's 1/3 of the original. And actually, can I just go back to how the whole thing started? There's actually 4 members, original members of BCP. One of them is actually here, and
He's in Manchester.
he's in Manchester. So it was just literally going to parties and raving. So all ravers originally, and it was just promoting. This is easy. We can do this. Had a party. I think it was Lewisham Way.
Lucian Way, yeah.
Lewisham Way, yep.
Yeah, Lewisham Way.
Is it?
The first
one.
When
First,
you talk about you, like you had a party, okay, since you've gone that way about it, you were ravers before though.
Big time.
So
ravers,
before
yeah.
we even start about
Yeah.
looking about promotions,
Yeah.
you was coming and paying to get in.
well, to be honest,
To be honest,
no,
not always, not always, 'cause I had
wait. To
DJ
be honest,
wait.
wait. To be honest, Martin and Addy were ravers. I wasn't really a raver.
Right.
So Martin and Addy were ravers, and we decided to have a party, and we wanted to have a brandy and champagne party. So you had to bring a bottle of brandy or champagne, and it was just jam. And it was like probably about 70 or 75% women, which has been a theme consistently in all our things all through
We'll
our.
get to that.
Yeah.
I know you got some women's stories that you want to tell us.
But that's kind of how we had the first party, and it was really good.
So were you really popular? Because if I were to just randomly throw a party, you'd probably get 15 people turn up. Did you have an original circle of people that you partied out with all the time already?
What it was, Reggie, is that this is my take on it. It's like me and Addy, we was always going to Oasis.
Okay.
Oasis Mistri on a Friday. So I used to cut my hair. And then we used to
on a Friday night.
yeah, we used to get in the XR3i.
And we used to meet with John Maestro.
Cool car as well.
Maestro.
Yeah, XR3i.
There's a guy called John Maestro who partnered as well.
And
Roxy. Pick us
And
up on my
We used to
flat.
fly down.
Right.
So then we met Alex, and then Alex said, you know what, Yeah.
Let me be part of your team.
Yeah, let us be part of your team.
Is that what he was with him?
Hold on, it was actually quite funny because Addy knew my ex-girlfriend, and I'm not sure if Martin did. So I used to have a white Escort convertible. So she used to drive it. So Addy knew her, and then Martin's cousins and my cousins were friends. So when we used to go down Waller Road, you couldn't even go down Waller Road unless you were allowed to. It's one of those roads you can't.
Yes.
So you can't go down Waller. So you couldn't go down Waller Road unless you were known. Otherwise, boy, that's it. You're just giving donations basically. So Martin I used to see. That's where I first saw Martin. I saw Martin on the road. So I thought, boy, if he's on the road and that's his family, then you know what I mean. And then that's how we kind of started talking.
So then what happened is that we was raving hard, and then I've got to give Alex credit because he's the one that's really started it. I've got to give him props. He had a vision. He says, guys, we can do this. This is not hard. We can do it. I said, what do you mean we can do it? Listen, man, we can do a party. Let's get a party and let's invite our people in. I'm telling you, it'd be jam. I said, nah, Alex, man. Me and Addy was like, nah.
Seriously, I wasn't on it. I wasn't up for it. I was like,
it's gonna be. No one ain't gonna turn up. I mean, we're gonna be like fools out here.
He forced it, to be fair.
He said, no, we're doing it. I said, okay, you know what, let's just follow do it. So he said, you know what, let's just do a party where everybody brings a bottle of brandy or a bottle of champagne. And then
why did you not big yourselves up so much at that time about that? Why is it brandy and champagne? Why wasn't it brandy
and Kai?
Yeah.
Because that's what we were drinking.
Yeah. So I think
we were what? Listen, that's what it was. You won't see me drinking that now.
No, I think most of the people were drinking brandy as well, but then I had a lot of champagne drinkers. So some footballer friends, so they were drinking champagne. So it was either one or the other. That's it.
Okay, so your original raving area was Mayfair, West End, and you thought, right, okay, we can.
Alex used to go to a lot of those sort of raves. He's got friends who like
in high places.
Yeah, he got
so
and obviously Waller Road is an iconic road.
Sorry,
Raymond knows about it. So you know.
See that camera? Sorry, I don't probably listen. So what made you come down to the gate?
You know the funny thing. I grew up in Richmond, and then when we first came and moved out to Blackheath, and I had to go to see my cousin at school, and I'd gone to schools where there was like 3 or 4 black people in it. That's it. So I come down. I it wasn't Edmund. Well, there's one school anyway. Come to meet my cousin, and my uncle comes and said, "Are you coming in?" I was like, "No." I said, I was like, "Have you seen how many black people in the school?" I was like, "No, I'm not going in there." So obviously, different type of like social groups and everything else. But when one of the good things about once we started getting involved in this, and so we'll come on to it, is everybody used to start coming to the raves. So it don't matter whether you was into funky house, you was into drum and bass and everything, you was coming because you would appreciate the music.
Okay, so pause right there. So let's go back to your party, because I haven't finished enough with your party.
Yeah.
So you gave your flyer to J2 to do your first flyer.
Where is he?
Did he do the first flyer?
No.
No, I don't think he did.
No.
Clear print.
It was Clear Print that did that.
Peckham.
Peckham.
Clear print.
High Street.
But J2 did majority of our flyers.
What DJs did you have on the bill?
So at the first dance, it was my take in terms of which studio we were going to use. Because I knew the DJ. I said we use Latest Edition. Okay.
And Delroy P.
And then Legs is a person I knew quite well. I said, we'll go with Legs. And Legs was game for that, to be fair to him. I said, look, we want to do a party. He said, yeah, you lot can do this, man. I said, yeah, I'll do it. Didn't charge. Fine.
He was free. Legs gave you services for free.
Yeah, he does.
No,
the guy.
Definitely, he helped us
and
out.
And I'll move on to him being a good guy when it comes to money. Money wasn't his god. Still, I don't think he is anyway. So I said to him, look, we're not charging. It's a free party. People bring their drinks, and that's it. And we didn't charge, to be fair. And actually, Calvin Anthony, Delroy's cousin, was on the mic.
So it was just the 2 DJs?
Legs. Just one.
Just Legs all night.
Legs and Delroy.
And that was it.
So can I just pause you there? We didn't start charging, but we did because what's the name's dad was doing the door. Roach. I took a bag of money out of his hand because I was like, hold on, big man, hold on. Hold on, some of that money there.
I think given that happened, I think we had to say to my man.
Yeah, we had to give, because there was a few hundreds in his hand, and I was like, right, you know what? Let me just leave you with that.
How much people did you reckon that you had in there?
And you know what Lewisham Way's like? You remember Lewisham Way?
Community Centre.
Community Way.
Oh, yeah,
Lewisham Way.
yes, that's right.
Whatever you could, as much as you could get in there. It was just
Jammers.
yeah.
And then
you thought,
yeah, and then the first dance,
we're
proper
promoters,
dance,
like we can do this.
we can do it. And the first dance was over in East London. Alex, again, his mum's church, I think it was, used to use a venue for the Sunday service. So we had that dance in the church.
First of all,
We did that
no, it
dance.
was the barbecue first.
It was a
the barbecue.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so yeah, we done a barbecue, and this barbecue was ridiculous.
Right over in East London, yeah.
We found, I can't even remember.
It was a big house.
Big up to CJ and Merlin, because it was through, I can't remember if it was CJ or Merlin that
Are
we
you talking
saw.
about Merlin? Merlin used to be,
Justin Boylan,
Yeah.
and big rap,
Yeah.
big UK
UK rap,
artist.
yeah.
Back in the day, Merlin, so big up Merlin.
Yeah, so
Big up Merlin.
Merlin, so they said they had a garden. So I said, right, Martin, let's jump in the whip, went round to go and have a look at it. And as soon as I saw the garden, I was like, this is it, we can do this. And people have done barbecues afterwards, and the amount of people I've met since, and they said, when you talk about that Stratford barbecue, they said, I was there, and I was like, the police came, and they cordoned off both sides of the road. We had about 800 people in that garden. This garden was fantastic, and you had a balcony up to the top. And then you had about 400 people outside. So the police just cordoned off the road, saying nobody else can go down there. They just literally
Who was on the
cordoned off.
I think it was Gary's dog. Was it Gary?
Was it Gary?
I think it might have been Gary's.
All right, okay.
But we saw Raymond, we saw Cash.
So who was playing? And your DJs
It
were?
was Marky B,
Yeah, Marky B,
That's right.
Marky B,
CJ.
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 I can't remember who it was.
LACJ,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
And who
sure
else?
if J2 was it Special Touch?
It might have been, no, Goody. I'm sure it was Goody.
Special Touch wasn't really.
No, Goody went in Special Touch.
What year was this, by the way?
This is
94,
95.
95.
Okay.
95. Well, Goody joined in about 95, so maybe.
So was
Just before-
Good
just before
News
you
on it?
Yeah, so that
'Cause
dance
I remember
at
there's a
the
white
house
flyer.
at the one, yeah, that was the Christmas one when I was in Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah. It was WJ Good Grooves, Daisy G and Barry White on that one.
But the
That was
barbecue,
the Christmas one.
the
The
bar-
barbecue I think was CJ, Marky B.
I can't remember, somebody
I can't
else.
remember else.
'Cause one thing I have to say, for me personally, these guys knew the DJs more. My relationship built up with them as time went on. At the time, my thing was that, look, people, we're branding BCP. So that's my vision has always been, it's about us. It's about what we're doing for our people, not about the DJs. These guys were, oh, DJs, I'm like, nah, not interested in DJs. It's about us. If we do our thing properly, people will come. And that's why people come. So we can have the same DJs, but it'll be a different crowd from what somebody else will have the same DJs. So that tells you it's about us and what we do for.
So did you two share the DJing, like
I
selection?
did quite a lot because I knew a lot of DJs anyway.
Yeah.
But and then
What-
after a while, I just sort of mind.
What did you want from a DJ? So when you was booking a DJ,
Yep.
what did you say? What was the criteria that they had to fill?
Well, we'll get the crowd there, entertain them. Don't worry about me getting the crowd there. We'll get people
And
in.
what's your definition of entertaining for a DJ?
The music's got to be on point because part of a rave is going out and enjoying yourself. And I have to say that when I used to go out there, I used to enjoy myself because obviously Oasis resonated with me a lot. On a Friday night we do that, and then on a Saturday you go to a club and then to a blues dance, you know. And
So what was your
music.
idea of music at that time? So it was what? It was reggae.
I've not really been a
There's more
soul,
90s
soul,
or
rare groove.
Then there's good groove.
Good grooves, yeah.
Good groove music.
Yeah.
Not quite rare groove yet. I mean, it was there, but it's more like 90s.
Like Jodeci.
Yeah. More for our
American,
crowd.
that
More
type
for
of
our
stuff.
crowd.
Yeah.
Of the R&B, which pushed rare groove out the window.
Yeah.
That's
H-Town, that type of
Yeah,
vibe.
that's what was.
It's the 90s.
That was how it was at the time. It wasn't. I mean,
Slow jams.
like
Slow
rare
jam
groove,
era.
yeah, slow
Slow
jam
jam,
era,
yeah.
That was what was working at the time. So you had to kind of go with what people were more inclined to want to hear.
So you obviously picked your
So
DJs
we
based
had,
on that.
our main DJs at the time was the Desi G and the Barry White, Mistri, there was
Studio Express was
Studio,
special touch. Right?
yeah, Express. The typical sounds that you're still listening to today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've been to a podcast and hear people talk about sounds and they ain't mentioned Fifth Avenue.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Were you on the band list then?
Studio Express.
Yeah.
It's not about Fifth Avenue on the podcast. It's about
yeah. We can't be so obvious and use Fifth Avenue, can we?
Yeah.
But even though we used to rave to Raymond's parties.
Yeah, all the time.
Before even was Fifth Avenue when it was in
Imperial
Don.
Dawn.
Big sound.
You look when they're good.
Oh, sorry.
It was what it was. Isn't it? It is what it is.
But
Imperial Don and
so-
young prosecutors.
Okay, so what did you, so in your core DJs that you had then, Mistri, Studio Express,
Yeah.
who was the other one?
Use latest edition quite a lot.
This is
Yeah,
GS.
this is
Latest.
This is latest edition after
After the split.
The split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is after the 5 then became 2.
Yeah.
What did you think? Okay, so what did you get out from Studio Express? What was their qualities at the time that
There
made
were
you?
The energy at the time.
Yeah, the
People
energy.
wanted.
There were vibes. They used to
Energy,
really like hype up the crowd,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what I mean. And Ali is a good DJ. He's versatile. He can play all types of music. So we had no issues with studio. And plus they were the young kids on the block at that time. So they were up and coming. So there's something to prove against the South London sounds. I think, you know, they were in competition with the Fifth Avenue and the latest and stuff. But they were giving it energy, and all now they're still doing the same thing. So
What did you get from Mistri?
Mystery, double booking.
I like.
Respect Paul, love Paul, but you know.
Yeah. You got to give Paul props.
Paul was quite key to what we've done. We used him quite
Yeah,
a lot.
no, yeah,
He helped us.
Yeah,
he helped us
definitely.
in terms of guidance and how we wanted things to go. Because you have to have a plan. If you have a plan as to how you want to take it, you can only take it as far as you can. Really. But you've got to be inventive and creative.
So he helped you. So he helped you with your.
Well, no,
plan,
not
or-
help us as such, but it's sort of like in terms of bookings, we'll book him. He'll entertain the crowd, and a lot of our crowd knew Mistri. They were into that sort of. Do you know what I mean? So it was easy for him to fit into what we were trying to achieve. So all the sounds, it wasn't just him. I mean, as I say, everyone helped us in terms of the DJs, in terms of what we wanted to do, because they knew we would get the crowd in.
But what I'm trying to get is just to go through their specific qualities. So that was Mistri and that was Studio. Latest edition.
Yeah, latest edition. I mean, to be honest, the guy was a sort of person that you say to him, look, I want you there at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
He'll be there 10 to 10, play. Didn't care about what time he got. Some DJs want to get the glory and play at 2 or 3 o'clock. But my man wasn't like that. He was about going in. And I respect that because it's about professionalism. For me, if I don't want to say booking a DJ, if I'm working with a DJ, you know, I would do my bit. I'll do my utmost best to get people in there. Please entertain them. And if I say to you, you're going to play at 10 o'clock, whether you're the biggest sound in London or you're the smallest sound in London, we expect people to achieve their end of the bargain.
Yeah,
so and it's working with people to try and achieve that really. So
the crux of it is he had professionalism.
Yeah.
So if you tell him to come and do the warm up, he
He'll
didn't
do
have
it.
a problem.
He'll do it.
If you wanted to come and do that the late, he didn't have a problem.
So pause right there because I'm gonna bring you back to that professionalism and everything else. Not specifically through the latest edition, but just through the DJs. So the fourth one, I don't think we've mentioned. So there was another.
Desi and Barry.
Desi. So what did you get from Desi and Barry? What were the qualities that made you book them?
They were the biggest duo at the time.
Biggest duo,
whatever. They were, at that time, probably still now as well. They did command a serious crowd.
I was going to say serious wages for a second.
And I want my money.
See, one of the things about the DJs for me, and like, as Adi said, there's been a journey where, you know, all the DJs, including Fifth Avenue, have helped BCP in their journey to success. But it's been the times when we've had to interact with them at different times. When we first started, it was like, hold on, you guys ain't DJs, you can't be doing big dances. So there was a lot of fight down. People were like, oh, you want to do a dance? I'm going to have to, back in them days, they're charging us £300. They were charging. Can you
imagine? I had to book a sound and the man said to me, I want a deposit.
It was £300, blah, blah, blah. At that time, they said, okay, one deposit, 150, but, and then there was like, oh, I said, you know what? not a problem. But what they didn't know about is that we had jobs in it. Worked in
Good
the
jobs
city.
as well.
Absolutely.
So,
Professional.
Nothing.
So it
I don't need this.
Hold on, but it wasn't. No, but you see, the thing about it was that for us, it was to do a dance.
Yeah.
When we first started, the overheads were quite expensive at the time.
Yeah.
So if you've got 4 or 5 DJs and you're paying them $150 each half thing, and then you're paying for your radio ads, and them days like Keithley.
Yeah.
Oh bloody hell! That was that. Me and Keithley became like that. But trust me, though, that Alex go and deal with your boy because he was just he was a nightmare. But that's him.
Thank God for choice.
But you know what?
Thank God for choice coming in.
He was good. He was good for us. So at the
Wayland
beginning,
later.
at the beginning when we first started, it was quite cash intensive to do all of these things. So it was like a lot of them were like, well, you know what? I want this. I was like, I was telling to Addy.
You said we worked, so it wasn't a problem. So it wasn't a problem.
Did you feel it was just us getting away? Did you feel the DJ just went on like that because they wanted you to prove yourselves first?
I think so.
I think so now.
I think it's
Retrospectively
fair enough.
now, but at the time, we just thought they were see you next Tuesdays.
No, but
That's it.
to be honest,
At the time,
it's
that's
their
exactly
risk.
right. I used to come back to them
Yeah,
cussing.
but the
In
thing
the end,
is-
when it comes to DJs, they say, "No, Alex, just."
I would never
Give
take
them
things
back.
like that personally because I know what I'm capable of doing.
Right, okay.
As you said, you hit it right on the head there. You worked, you had good jobs, still have. And I mean, maybe some DJs never did at the time. So for them, it was an issue for them. I'm being real. I'm being real. Yeah, I've never hustled a day in my life. I've worked. I've got a profession. We all have our professions. So for us, we funded a lot of those dances with our own money.
Yeah. So you had to
So
see
there was
funding.
a risk on
yeah,
our
yeah.
side.
Yeah.
So then for that to then go on to them to say, look, do you know what, you lot are putting up a lot of money for this dance to happen. Yeah? Prove yourself. And I think that's probably what it was. And fair play to them because it's a risk for them. For them to put their name on the flyer and the dance is a flop,
It's not good.
it's not good for them. You're associated with these guys who don't have a clue what they're
And
doing.
there is some promoters that used to do that.
And I kind of get that. But then you go from that position to being in a position where you don't book certain sounds, you're getting phone calls from certain DJs and like, why didn't you book me? Well, how come I'm not on the bill? And I'm like, there you go. So then it tells you about yourself, about how you've progressed.
On
and
that-
it's quite good that you get that. And I go, well, you know what? It's nothing personal. It's just, as far as I'm
it's just your
concerned,
choice.
yeah, if I, look, the pure aim of a home dance is actually making sure people are entertained and have a good time. All right? That's primary. For me personally, it's about making the money after that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll watch the
Just a good
numbers.
thing, yeah.
Well, I was on the subject
Yeah.
of DJs, and you hit something that I always found fascinating from a promoter point of view, where you've got your set core number of DJs that you use, the people that you work with, and obviously DJs are on the hustle and they're hungry. Like you said, you get DJs calling up. You know, how did you deal with that side of it? Like, did you ever want to give people a chance, or?
We used to do a rotation sometimes, but we always had our core 3-4. But then we say, you know what, this guy's coming through. Let's give him a chance, give him some tickets, see how he does.
So they never used to badmouth any other
No,
DJs.
we used to get a lot of fight down. Don't get it twisted.
Like DJ, because I know personally experienced DJs who've called up a promoter and gone, "Why are you booking Reggie for? I will do it for £100." Was there kind of like that cutthroat thing?
Not per se, but there's a lot of DJs saying, "Oh, why are you playing for them, man?"
Right.
You understand me? Why are you playing for them?
We used to get rivaled with people trying to do dance on the same day as us. We said, all right, fair enough. That's
Yeah,
good.
we had that. We had a lot
all
of
the
that.
time.
Who
We
was
used
the
to
other big
like that.
promoters around when you at the time when you were stepping up?
Good question.
RGS
RGS,
RGS was the biggest one.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
That's it, really.
Can I say something?
on.
We used to, big up to Chris Sweeney, by the way, a veteran in the game. But we used to model ourselves on RJS. Not say, hold on. Let me finish.
Fight.
No. they were at the time the biggest promoter. Biggest, yeah. And for me, I don't know about these guys, but for me, it was my inspiration. They were my inspiration. Because
Yeah, they're good markets.
they had it all. They had holidays.
Yeah,
They had
absolutely.
anything they put on was just smashed. You know what I mean? Smashed to smithereens. So I'm like, you know what? How do these guys do it? You know what I mean? But I say to myself, you know what? It's just we just have to just work hard. And whenever they put on the dance, we're gonna put on the dance the same day.
On the same day?
On the same day. We're gonna go head to head with these guys.
Wow.
That's my vision. Alex would say, you know what? F it, we're gonna do it. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And I,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the thing is, I don't know if it's a good thing, because they had West, people actually thought we was from East London. They used to think me and Martin was from East London.
Yeah.
We're from
Right.
South. But they thought, because we was from East, North, RJ's come
Our
touch
stomping
us.
ground.
Right.
South, so they had West London. West London's an entity in its own self. So they don't have to come out of West London for it to be jam. But once you go to East, South, and parts of North London, you can't touch BCP. It's impossible. So we knew from we got that side.
But then to be fair though,
It's
as
gonna
well,
be.
West London, we had a lot of huge following in West London. as
Yeah,
well.
'cause we used to play over there a
We used
lot.
to play over there a lot. We used to, you know, I remember
We used to
when we were going to Oxgate Lane.
Okay, yeah.
I think Oxgate Lane was a.
We like
Yeah.
that. We like that venue.
Yeah, I like that
Yeah.
venue.
But part-
I've
but part
partied
of the
there
reason
once.
I think you did become so big was probably down to you had a lot of characters around you at
Yeah.
the time, which wasn't just solely South London people.
No.
You had your East London.
We
In
had
fact,
Shifty.
Shifty.
yeah.
Yeah, like
With
that,
Tony and that
the
lot,
old touch
all
of class
the,
lot.
yeah, all the,
Tony,
you know,
who used to
Scribbles.
Scribbles,
These are old
Lloyd
school names, you know,
Devon.
old school guys who followed us all the time. Ego and that lot as well. Ego will come to our dance and he says, right,
Stefan.
nothing's going on in your dance. I've got your dance.
Yeah, but it was.
R.I.P.
But
Ego,
But
RIP
then-
Ego.
Also, when you
so-
look at it going through at different stages, you have to big up man like Fox, Brandy Lee as well. All of those guys used to get involved in sports. Merlin, CJ, Marky B. So there was other people, lots of different characters that were involved. And I suppose because we done dances in different areas, we would have strategic partners who would get more involved because it's their area.
So that was part of your
our game plan.
Yeah.
your game plan.
'Cause when we done the barbecue-
So if we was doing
Company,
something
yeah.
in East,
Yeah.
we'll tap up this man and says, you know what, yeah, come help us out, we'll give you, and they'll get their network of people. That's how you do it with this network.
We did a collaboration, I
Network.
think, with Studio Express, is it? Rewind Selector.
Yeah.
Was it Rewind Selector?
Yeah, we want to select it.
And that was quite big. We did it at, there's a venue in East London at the time, what's that place?
Wasn't Els, was it Els Wine Bar?
No, it was a,
What is it? Ruby Centre?
no, not Ruby Centre. Out in the field somewhere, I can't remember, in
Oh.
Leighton.
Players.
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 Oh.
Yeah, that was
Do you
jam.
remember?
Yeah,
And that
yeah.
was jam. We said, right, we'll do it. I think we only did about one or two in there.
Yeah.
But it's about hooking up with people who, you know,
Who did you hook up with to do Brinks? Because Brinks was one of your biggest.
big
That was laid way down.
That
That
was
was
way
that was 2000.
Yeah.
But
So
can I take it back a bit?
Yeah.
In 96 it was. Is it? 96. We thought we were so big, you know what I mean? We thought, yeah man, anything we do now is just turn it to gold. We smashed it, mate.
So
We
you're just making money.
was making money. We
Little
was
bit
making
of
money. We didn't even know we was
You can see the bad sides to these hands.
This is a different story. That.
Hold
Can you
on.
just, before you go on that,
Hold on.
if we're talking about money, that time with the barbecue, me and I had
Hold it,
I
6
had,
minutes.
I had this bag. It was a full up.
Monopoly money, right?
Yeah, Monopoly money.
That's fine. This is broadcasted. Yeah,
So
Monopoly
then
money,
we
kid.
had Monopoly money, and
30
then
years on since
Yeah,
the
yeah.
official Secrecy Act, so you're fine.
yeah. So you know what? And it was like a film. Mine was like, "What do you think we got in there?" So I started tipping it out.
But I know what Martin's
Still
gonna.
tip
I know
it.
Making it rain.
That's what we did.
Let Martin tell that story. Go
Honestly,
on.
it's nuts.
Let Martin tell that story.
Yeah, back to that story. Alex, you're right there because we went shopping for trainers the next day. We got like 5 pairs each. Yeah. But anyway, that time
Big
there.
spender.
But we thought you know what, nothing can't touch us. So the big man next door, Big G,
Yep.
and Legs says, Boxing Day. We've got Oxgate Lane. So let's book all the DJs. You know what I mean? Let's book all the DJs and do
Everybody.
it. I said, yeah, well, Ali said, yeah, man, let's do it. More money, you know what I mean? But then our main counterpart at the time was
Red Eye and Leckie.
Mr. Leckie, Richie Rich, and
Red
Red
Eye.
Eye. They had Tysson Street.
Yeah.
We had Oxgate Lane. Was you at Tysson Street?
I think I was banned from both of them. I was on the naughty list.
But
The infamous naughty list.
yeah, we thought, yeah, let's go head to head with those guys because we thought we could go head to head with anybody and win. But I tell you, man,
It was a
that
crash bang wallet.
was a crash bang wallet.
So there
But
was
you know what?
died at
You know what?
Sobering moment.
To be honest,
20 people in in there. Yeah?
Ah, you're lucky. 20 weeks. You're lucky.
And you're talking about Oxgate Lane could take about what?
1,000
people.
And given
And we've
that
done
before
lots.
that, we did, I think we did MA's birthday with him.
Yeah.
We did, I think, Legs' one as well.
Over there and smashed
All
it.
very good. And we thought, yeah, man, we'll take
Does
a
that
shot.
mean everybody else went to Tysson Street?
Yeah, we
DJ
including
lounge.
us.
Oh, you went.
After we cleared up Oxgate Lane, swept up a little bit of dust.
No,
man.
but the,
But
what
it's
I'm
one of
trying to
those
get
ones,
at,
isn't
the reality is, that was a reality lick shot in our head to say, you
Yeah.
know what, you're not invincible.
Yeah.
You're going to have to work harder at this
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
people are only loyal to where the hype is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You understand? So we may have our loyal crowd, but if the hype is more over there,
Then that's where it's going.
they're going.
And in the promotion game,
Yeah.
you win some,
Yeah,
you
you
lose.
lose.
And
Absolutely.
that one you definitely lost. That
Yeah.
one.
The only one though. Only
Only
one.
one bad.
Only one.
One thing I
Only
was, the only thing I would say with that one, strategically, it didn't necessarily fit our business model because really, as much as it was West London, we kind of relied a bit more on
The East London.
Yeah.
those guys to do it because it's West, big
Yeah.
GM thing. Whereas really,
So it's their fault, really.
They didn't put the work in.
Take advantage of the younger one.
But on the positive line, I know we haven't got time for it. I think probably in terms of branding, we were key in branding. I think one of the biggest brands for us was Back to the Future.
And that was next. Was that?
So we did Back to the
Back to the
Future.
drawing
The first one, this was Regatta Centre, right? So I don't know who came up
I
with
did-
Regatta Centre. Came up. Whose idea was Regatta Centre? I don't know. Anyway,
I can't remember.
we got the place anyway.
But I designed the flyer.
Yeah, yeah. And we got the Regatta Centre and we said, right, okay, we did the first one and it was good. And then the second one we were going to do, I think,
was it?
96.
No, Regatta Centre was me because I knew the guy.
Yeah, all right, kid.
That's right.
And then Dennis, I think these guys were out flying for another dance. And those were the days where you had to go out in the cold flying.
Yeah.
Those
Hard
guys were
work.
Lazy fuckers. You're so lazy guys, by the way. They didn't like flying. I still was flying for them.
And flying is where you have your flying,
Giving
you have
out.
your promotion.
Absolutely.
So
It's
you're
moved on
standing
now.
out
In the cold.
and people are walking past you.
And they're going, that's it. No, they take you off you and they throw it away as you turn your back.
I always remember the BCP flyer being so distinctive as
Yeah.
well,
The logo.
with the
Yeah, the
logo and everything and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
you just
So-
had that.
So they
Very
said,
well.
oh, Dennis, we saw Dennis out, and he said,
What Dennis?
Dennis.
Dirty
Dennis said he wanted to do his birthday. He didn't, I don't think he had a venue or whatever. I said, yeah, we'll do it Back to the Future. Did it with Back to the Future, and that was packed.
Yeah. That was,
That was
that
one.
was
I think we probably did about 3, and we had another one at Lighthouse, wasn't it?
No one. There's too many people.
We had a Lighthouse. We had that there. That was like.
There's
Lights is over
there's
East London.
2,000
Yeah, yeah,
people.
yeah.
It was Lighthouse when I walked in there, and I don't know if it was mine.
Alex again found it, so take the power.
And then
back for
and
that.
then I said, it's a place. There were so many people in there that we like. It was not uncomfortable, but it's like I'm like I don't even know the amount of people. There's just yes, it was good for money, but there's that sort of sense of like family and everything else and it was just like this is commercial. It's like so big. I'm like, raw. In the end, I just stayed at the back. I was just watching. I was like,
Was there 2 rooms in there? One.
I think there was
two.
Two rooms. So how did you split that then? So who did you have in the first room?
Them two were just
So-
at the DJs.
Well, actually, we need to backtrack about how that actually happened because that dance was actually scheduled for the Lighthouse. It was actually meant to be a Regatta Centre.
Right.
But they had problems
So they
with
had
the
problems with
license.
Regatta Centre.
License.
So what we had to do was literally go out in the room, it was freezing cold,
And raining.
and move people and redirect people. We sold out. The dance was sold out.
Yeah.
But what was meant to be a bad situation turned out to be a good situation financially.
Yeah.
Second, but primarily a good rate because where we didn't have the space at the Regatta Centre, the Lighthouse had a bigger take up. So what we had to do was literally for hours stand in the cold and ferry people from the Regatta Centre to the Lighthouse. Well, tell people, obviously, people didn't realise.
So redirect
them.
No, it was they used to say, we get a train load of cars behind us.
And then just
and then we tell them to follow us.
Yeah.
So they got like a big 10-car convoy
And then take
following
them.
down to
Yeah.
one of these guys or me, taking them down to the rave and
So
coming back.
it worked out really well.
Giving that little personal touch.
Yeah, it worked out really well, and it was packed because of that. Because obviously, the people who were coming in the night who didn't have tickets, obviously there was space for them. Because whereas if it was at the Regatta Centre,
You were charging how much? So tickets was what in
I think
advance?
tickets were about
$12.50.
$12.50, I think it was.
$12.50.
And then probably £20.
And then £20 on the door.
So.
And you
This
had
was 1996.
Yeah.
and you had how much people in there?
I can't
Over
remember.
about 800.
About 800.
Who's the accountant? You are the accountant.
No, there was more than
Yeah,
800.
so you made how much money?
A little bit of change.
At that time, you guys had the bar as well, right?
Change. A little bit of change.
Oh, you didn't have the bar?
We don't talk
okay.
about numbers.
Okay.
We just call it a
was a
little
good day
bit
in
of
the
change. It was a good day. It was all right.
Sunday at the office.
So you look at that and you go, look, it's been good. I mean, I could go home and give my wife 500 quid and go, there you go. For the night, so haven't been at home. I've been out flying and doing all sorts of stuff. There you go. And she's cool with that. But you know, it's got its perks. But I think you look at it overall and you think it's evolved. All of it's evolved now. It's different. It's in a different place now.
But at that time, you guys had your own, well, getting to this stage where you're actually packing out dances on a regular basis. Did you then start defining your each individual roles and responsibilities? Like, how did that pan out? Was there anybody?
It was more a thing where we had like everybody knew their job, everybody knew their role. You understand? We got one man, Addy or myself, booking the DJs. Alex is finding the venues. I was, out there raving all the time, giving out flyers. They were calling me the flyer guy.
Right, okay.
You understand?
You had to, because that was integral to your dance. If you don't see the flyers, it's not going to happen. It's not like today where, you just
You
got
have social media.
and it's
media.
quite powerful and interesting how it works now.
Okay.
It's quite amazing how it works. But back then, I used to set my alarm for 3 o'clock to go. And I had to
Nightmoves.
right, and I had to make sure I'm there before the first person comes out. And if they give you an extension, you're out there in the cold for another half an hour because the man's decided I'm going to let it go until 5 o'clock. You're there at 3:30. You're freezing cold.
Race across London to get to these clubs before it finishes.
Yeah.
And if you miss one person, you're upset.
Job not done
Job
properly.
ain't done properly.
And I've phoned. I said, "Did Mighty turn up?" No, Mighty wasn't. Alex never liked flying.
Yeah, but did you not have fun out there? Because there used to be about 8 or 9
Yeah,
promoters
people,
that day.
right?
Oh yeah, it was.
That's how you got to know the promoters.
Yeah, that's how you got to know.
I used to call it running the gauntlet.
I think
Right,
for me, because
right.
I didn't really know a lot of the DJs and everything else, when I'd see them doing their birthday things and you get to know them and everything else, and they say, yeah, come, I'm going to give you a comp or whatever. And then afterwards, it got to a point where you just go, you turn up somewhere and they're just ushering you in. But that many years later.
Yeah.
But do you think that regular flyering is what helped you to build your core clientele of ravers?
Awareness, yeah. And
Yeah,
I think
people
you look at,
seeing you.
The way I see it with promoting is that it's not necessarily you guys are going to come to my dance because you know about it. It's who you tell about it. So you tell, so every single one of us that might not go to the rave, but you tell every single person that you know that likes going out, and the effect of that could be tenfold. Because whilst you might not go, by off the back of you telling 10 people, they might come. Each then they might tell 3 people, all 3 of them might come. It's just how it is.
But you see,
But you have your core people who will turn up.
tricks of the trade is we used to go to a dance and see who's in the dance, and then target particular groups of ladies, girls.
Right, okay. So you were selective.
Not selective.
Why would
but
you? But what criteria would you look at targeting a particular
girls
set of
who
girls?
are popular, girls who are got like a big group of friends,
Right, okay.
or
Girls
like
who
a big
like
crew of girls.
raving.
Yeah.
Not necessarily just girls, the guys
No,
as
but
well.
this is how we used to do it.
I made the schoolboy era when I first started with just giving the flyers to the pretty girls. So,
No, but that ain't a schoolboy era.
No, but I think it was schoolboy era.
That's one of the things I used to do.
I got to learn.
Alex,
I got to learn very quickly that
There's no such thing as ugly girls. Yeah? No such thing.
No,
Nah, man.
All girls are
Everyone's beautiful.
Listen.
He was in the eye of the beholder.
Very PC, but you have ugly people,
Yeah.
and you have
And they have
good-looking
fucking-
people.
yeah, exactly.
But the ugly people are still.
We got people.
They got friends.
There's nothing wrong with
And they're the ones who are going to come and
challenge.
support you. So
They're challenged,
you can't be.
And that's what I meant in the sense that
Yeah.
I only.
No, but also if you go out and you're flying and you go inside, you've got these, and you go to a girl and say, look, I'm having a party, blah blah blah. But then you walk past and you don't give it to anybody else. She feels special, so they don't just dash it on the floor. So rather than go out and I've got 100 flyers and give 100 out, I'll go into someone and just give out 20. And out of those 20, maybe 15 of those people I used to see turn up.
But you see, everybody's
And that was-
got their
that's
own
the way we
way
used to do it.
of promoting. Alice has got his
Marketing,
way, Ali's got his way, and I've got my way.
So what makes a good promoter?
It depends. It depends on the criteria.
Listening to your crowd. knowing what your
Depends on
crowd
the
wants,
criteria.
because that gives you longevity.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You listen to your crowd, you give them exactly what they want. Switch it up now and again, try and be different.
I think
Not be complacent.
For a good promoter, I think you got to be in tune to the public and what they want. Yeah, you have to listen to to the critiques.
So hold on there. So
And
give
have
me
a
some
good
of the critiques
team.
that you used to hear
and
over
you
the
got-
years
and you got to have a
about your
good-
DJs and raves.
About DJs?
Yeah, you don't have to
or-
name particular DJs.
No, I mean, I'll probably go one back from that, and actually about our raves. We had people who didn't quite like the fact that we were trying to muscle our way into the settlement.
To largest kind of.
Not necessarily
Is that
that, because
a
we
cartel
kind of almost have come from nowhere
Yeah.
and trying to be somebody. But my thing is, I've actually been out raving for years to know. It's like you're on the bench at Liverpool, Raymond, and you're saying that guy's not cutting it. You're going to come on next. You know exactly what to target, and that's what it is where we were concerned. We were fresh and we were innovative, and we had an idea of where we wanted to take the market. And we did just that. And I think maybe because people felt they didn't have the foresight to be able to go down that road, and we were fresh enough to say, I'll do that. It didn't sit well with them. But then that's not my problem if I've got a bit more savvy about how I think than you haven't. You're stuck in 1970, 1980. That's not my problem. And then just like someone else will come up behind us and go, BCP, that old hat, I'll come up with something fresh that maybe the new public wants. It will happen. It's just a natural progression and evolution.
So tell me some of the criticisms that you've heard.
So we've heard
some of the feedback that your clientele has given you over the years about DJs or about your.
For me, it's more like there's too many women at your parties.
Yeah, which we think it can never be an
But
issue.
no,
but you got to have that balance though. You got to have that balance because the ladies think of it and they
Ideally,
go, they don't want too much, you know. You
but
gotta have that balance.
that is the main. You guys draw too much girls. You guys got too many girls in your party. It's like, where's the men?
How did you deal with that one? Did you get more men? You can't.
You can't.
You
We
can't
tried
get
to
men- you can't get men
target
into
more
order.
men. Yeah, you can't. We tried to get more men in.
But that's a general running theme in the black community anyway, because
Yeah,
there's
I
a
think
lot
you
of
get that, yeah.
dances that
I
seem
mean,
to be.
if you put your race on, Raymond, you
Okay,
probably find the same
right.
thing you put on whatever you're putting on. It's just the way you
Why don't
don't.
the men come out though?
Yeah,
But it's quite
Why don't
different.
you do men free before?
We
certain-
tried that. We tried that.
All right.
We have tried that many times.
And it don't work.
doesn't work.
They come out late. The guys come out late.
But it's quite quite interesting actually. When I used to go to Oasis, there used to be a load of men going there. There was a lot of ladies, but there used to be a load of guys who would go, right, we're going to Oasis, right? But it seems to be, I don't go out much these days, but it seems to be quite different now, where there's obviously more women going out. As opposed
Back
to
then as well.
back then, even more so.
Yeah, I remember
Well,
there
there
used to be
was
loads
there
of
was more of an influx of men as well, but even more so now, probably less. I don't know. Maybe they're married. Or
Can I just ask you guys, I just want to go back to a point you made about 15, 20 minutes and I said pause on it. When you have your DJ lineup, you said you commented about DJ Legs was happy to play anywhere on the lineup.
Yeah.
He was what you would call
a consummate professional.
A consummate, that's it. Do you not believe though, or I don't know if you believe, how would you do your lineup though? So, and by that, so let me explain. If you know you've got Desi, you've got Latest, you've got Studio,
So-
you've got Mistri.
So for me,
and they're all at their peak.
yeah.
How do you do that lineup?
So
how
f-
do you sit
So for
who's,
me-
who's going to play where?
I look at their strong points. Like for me now, Mistri at the time and Desi G, they were connoisseurs in slow jams and rare groove. So I would put them at the end of the dance. Like the last hour and a half, put those DJs on. The beginning of the dance, it will be Studio, Special Touch, Fifth Avenue, Hyper.
The vibes element.
They're the ones that can up. Very important is to, when you start a dance, is to set a trend or set the bar.
Set the trend. No pun intended.
Set the bar.
Yeah.
Because I think once you set the bar high in the warm-up stages, it can carry a dance through to the end.
Yeah, exactly.
So I tend to say, well, you know what, these guys, they know how to work up a crowd. Yeah, so let's put them on first. Then these guys there at the end, the Desi Gs and that, they can play the rare groove and the slow jam, the rub-up music.
They're good at that.
They're good at that stuff. You know? They can tailor the dance off nicely. You understand? When people, and then maybe bring back on another DJ who's played at the beginning, play at the end, just to hype up the dance so everybody leaves on a high.
So them times there, in terms of the balance, you had the balance locked. You could see that you had strong.
I have to say one thing. When we first started, these two liked to put on too many DJs. And I always used to object to say, look, you don't need more than 4 DJs. They're like, no. It was like, I suppose because he's Man United, he's like Fergie. He was like, let's get all the DJs so the other people can't have the DJs. But the that was right thing. And listen, it was smart. However, when we're trying to juggle them 45 minutes, it used to be a problem. And then the music started getting choppy.
But then there was partly a reason for that. I think when we first started out, it was because people didn't really know us. Having to put on a dance with lukewarm names was a bit of a challenge for a DJ or budding promoters who people didn't really know about. So the trust was more on the DJs. Now when we got to the point where people knew about us, where we promoted ourselves, you know, we did a dance, we did a £1 dance. There was no DJs on it.
Didn't mention no names.
Couldn't afford them if it's £1.
No, they got paid. No, they were talking about DJ names on it. We had DJs on it.
Oh, you just didn't put the names on the flyer.
It was just BCP Presents. And that's all it was about. It was about
What
us.
DJs played on your £1?
A little sound from Broccoli called Fifth Avenue. Delroy P.
That's when you was charging 50 quid.
Everybody got paid well. It's just that it was a new idea, and by 1 o'clock, I'd never seen so many black people come out in my life. It was just that ridiculous.
And the men too.
Oh, there was loads of men.
So it's the price then?
No, but hold on. Stop. I still haven't got past this DJ thing. So, fast forward 20 odd years, because you hear a lot of complaints about the DJs.
Can I just answer that question then? You see, for DJs, feedback that I've got a lot of the time was that DJs were lazy. DJs are playing the same type of music again, and women and guys will say, well, if I wanted to hear that playlist, I could be in my yard and play. I know what tunes they're going to play next.
Or is that now, kind of?
That was then and still now.
I think it's still a recurring theme.
Yeah.
I think it's still a recurring theme.
It was then, after a while, it was people were like, you know what? I was standing next to somebody, I think it was at Tysson Street, and then and there was a woman, she was just talking, and I thought she was drunk, she was just talking, she goes, he's going to play this tune next, and he played it. And she named 3 tunes, and the DJ played and I was like, oh my God.
So pause that. So you've got that criticism. So who is it on? Is it on the DJs to switch up how they play, or is it on you as promoters? You as, because it's your dance, you are managing the team.
Can I just say something? Whenever I used to go up there, them lot attempted to get lost because
Alex had and still has an abrasive manner. and abrasiveness doesn't always help.
Yeah.
Right?
It's the city boy in him.
My thing is, right? Message is clear, but the delivery is not the best.
Right.
So whilst I don't like to tell a DJ how to do their job, because you can't tell me how to do my job, because I say to you, look around you, the place is packed. I expect you as a professional DJ, remember I've never played music in my life to people, so I expect you to know what you're doing and deal with the crowd, not repeat the same tracks all the time. But we've had discussions before about how but you know what? But it's a touchy subject, because I mean it's testosterone there, and I don't want to be stepping on the man's foot and saying. But you know what?
Because
I
DJs got egos.
No, but there's nothing wrong with having a power with the DJ.
But I think
DJ egos are like this.
Personally, I think critique is good. Good or bad critique is good, because you can only do better and evolve from it. So the person who doesn't want to take any form of critique will be stuck in the doldrums forever. And you will never move on. But
why did you feel that you couldn't critique a DJ?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Well, I don't know. I just think that maybe some of these guys probably took it the wrong way and take it personal. There's a line you can strike between taking it personal and taking a professional criticism.
So why didn't you lead them off your next building?
We've done it before.
We've
we've done that.
Because I will get a promoter
this is why we're back to when you've not booked certain people and they say to you, how come you haven't booked me this time?
Because you play the same records.
And it's just, you know what? I'm tactile. I'm very tactile. And I will say, maybe for this particular venture, you don't quite fit the criteria.
But you're not telling them the truth.
Yeah, but you should have told them the truth, because
not learning.
that person will be able to go back and say, you know what?
Someone who prides himself in being 100% honest.
Give man to do.
We'll know that kill, won't we?
Because you lot used to rave a lot. You used to rave in Nightmoves. So you're going to remember Trevor.
Yeah.
And
of course, man.
Trevor, when Trevor, let me say, Trevor used to, his delivery was a bit different.
Yeah.
Still,
A bit archaic.
I wasn't used to it. And I wasn't used to someone coming and saying, I don't like what you're doing.
Well,
you're
you're
not
right.
watching the crowd.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying to you? Trevor used to come up, and it weren't just to me.
He said it to every
Mistri,
DJ, any
he
DJ
said
that was behind that desk, he was
Daddy
saying
Ernie,
to.
Yeah.
Commander B at the time,
Every
Christmas
single one of
Sunday.
them.
Guys, you're not listening to the crowd. You're not looking, man. No, they're not moving. Change up the style,
That is definitely Trevor.
And he would always do that. And what I took from that years later
Yeah.
was the fact that it was my crowd.
Yeah.
You're in my house.
Yeah.
These are my people.
Yeah.
I know what I want.
Yeah.
He didn't tell me what music to play, what the actual fun track. He just said,
Rethink
"Just change
your
up the
strategy,
style.
yeah.
You have to do something a bit
Yeah,
different.
absolutely.
The crowd ain't moving. I want some party music, man.
Yeah, party,
You know what I mean?
party
Party
music.
music, man. You know what I'm saying to you? So, why didn't you feel that you could do that with us? Why
Do you
is
know
it
what?
that Trevor felt that he could do that?
Do you know what? I don't know. Trevor's old school.
Yeah.
He's old school. A bit, again, abrasive. I love that word. But it wasn't because we were fearless. We just did what we wanted to do. But it wasn't a case of where. It wasn't a case of where I was
No, but
frightened of
didn't
telling
you
a
feel
man
that you could tell your
something.
DJ?
But you know what? That's a
that
good
would have
question.
improved the
you know what?
scene as a whole.
That you're right. I think maybe from a scene point of view, maybe we should have done something about it because then it would have meant that it would have improved the scene. Because I still find that some of those lapses filter into the dances now. You know, you go to certain dances and you hear, you know, within 20 minutes the same track being played, and you go, why?
Why?
You know, and I think part of being a good DJ is going to a dance early and listening to what's happening before you. So then when you go in there, you know exactly what to do. Before you go on, you know exactly how you have a game.
And just, sorry to interrupt. One of the things that we tried to implement was to say DJs should all turn up at the same time. And people like Mistri understood that as well. You know, sometimes he would fall foul of that, but sometimes he would turn up so that we didn't get this repetitive that you've played 2 or 3 tracks and you come on, you've just come in and you put your box down and bam, and you're like, hold on, if you were here 2 hours ago, you would have known they've been. And that's something that we try, and then we would fall out with DJs because they're like, oh, you're telling me what to do, blah, blah, blah. And like Martin said, we just won't put them on the next gig.
Big Pimpin. One of your most successful nights?
Yeah.
Better than the
You weren't involved in that first.
Do you know what? The reason why.
You're speaking
the
about
reason
when
why-
you went and
the reason
bought the
why that
Lamborghini
was-
from-
The reason why that was, I got married in 2000.
Yeah.
And at that point, I thought to myself, do you know what? I've been there, done it. I'm going to settle down now. I'm not going to run up and down with you guys and do the same thing. I have my belly full. Me and Martin had a birthday dance. When was it?
Yeah, players.
Yeah, made a tiny little change. But at the same time, you go, do you know what? Big Pimpin, not quite for me. You lot. And
No, he did. He gave us our blessing.
Yeah, I got my blessing to do it. Use,
I tried
you
to
know.
convince him. I said,
Yeah,
you got your part.
but for me, I wasn't. I couldn't be going there every Friday.
But you
I was still there.
But you're still behind
I was
the
still
scenes.
there. I was still there.
Still promoting it.
Counting the money for them when they're drunk. Yeah, and
Throwing it up in the air.
money going down the toilet. You know, helping out. I was still there. My influence was still there, but I just wasn't involved because I couldn't be doing every Friday night.
Yeah,
I think Big Pimpin for me was just like a different. It
Who
was
did
just
you have on a Friday night?
It was Galflex,
Galflex.
CK Flash,
Wasn't After Dark on there?
After Dark.
Dark.
Dark, yeah.
And then we used to rotate different ones.
Studio, and latest.
And
in
then,
the beginning, it was.
And
just
what's his
Stone
name?
Street.
Masterstepz played a few
Steps.
times.
Yeah, Steps, yeah.
Yeah, and
I used
so
to
we
come down there with my
rotate
street team band
Yeah,
to fly
yeah.
out
Oh, wow.
and give the.
But those days there,
cassettes and stuff.
I
Yeah.
mean, when we first started Big Pimpin', it was called Lagunda.
This was on Old Kent Road.
Old Kent Road.
And they changed to the Brink.
But then the owner, Anthony.
Frog and Nightgown used to be on
Yeah,
there.
Frog and Nightgown. Then Anthony changed it. It says he's going to change the name and
Right.
fix up inside and stuff like that. So the first night, Alex kind of mastered that deal, and he brought in Merlin, myself, and Tuff.
Totally tough.
TNT Tuff.
Wow.
Those were exciting.
You know the stories, Raymond. Raymond, you know the stories.
I'm not going to call no name.
TNT.
One day, one of you guys, one of the promoters, so Addy can step back. There was one of you promoters who was left in it, didn't want to pay the DJs one night. Is that?
The person who want to pay it isn't here.
All right, okay.
Okay.
Sandman.
Sandman.
Yeah,
was,
Sandman.
was that Sandman?
Sandman.
Why was that?
So Alex had his brainchild again. I've got this. Now Alex, to be fair, Alex was very creative.
Yeah.
Right, in terms of not just the venues, and I give him that. His job was to go out and find the venues. He would come, I've got a venue, I've got DJs. This time I was a DJ, I've got this sound called, and I went, nah.
Galfix.
Yeah? And I went, no. And we all went, no, forget it. Sam went, no, man.
No,
anyway,
Alex
they did what they had to do, and I hadn't heard from them about them. I heard it, but not properly. Did what they had to do, they smashed it.
No,
they were a resident there for a while.
No. Let me go back. When Alex said he wanted to book in Galflex, we was like, who? You know, we're these young boys. Nah, man, we want our sound, we want our circuit. Alex said, no,
Yeah.
Galflex, man, because you know what? They're young, they've got young girls.
Yeah.
Okay then.
That was Martin's take on it. Not my take, that was Martin's take on it. Yeah?
So,
remember, I'm looking at the numbers.
Hold on.
Yeah?
So then we said, all right, let's just promote it then. That time there, Juxi was doing a night there, but Anthony kind of said, you know what, we're going to bring in these guys. We're going to start the Friday. So the first night happened. We thought, you know what, let's invite everybody down. You know what I mean? Give them £5 passes, whatever. Absolute murder success, brilliant. I thought, yeah, we could do this. And then we said, you know what, yeah, let's do it every week. You know what I mean? If it's going to be like this, let's do it every week. So then the second week come, we thought, so we're there now, 12 o'clock, I said, yeah, people are coming, don't worry, man. Yeah, they're going to come too late.
Oh, dear.
2 o'clock come.
Where's everybody?
Fuck me, where's everybody? What's happening now? Alex, have you done your job? Did you do this? Did you do that? And then absolute empty.
Yeah.
We thought, where's everybody gone? What's happening now? So he said, no, Alex said, you know what? Keep calm, Tuff, you go fly here. Martin, you go fly there. Merlin, you just do your thing. You just do your
Which wasn't
thing.
a lot. But anyway.
And then the third week come back, 20 people turned up.
Yeah, built slowly.
And then the fourth week come up, 50 people come.
Yeah.
So it's okay, we can see little glimmer,
glimpses,
little shining light. So we thought, you know what, let's just carry on. And then one Friday,
it was a bank holiday.
No, it wasn't even a bank holiday. It just
It just came.
Yeah, it
just happened.
It was just one Friday. It was
mad
about
one.
150 people, and then after that Friday, the next Friday, it was 250, 300 every
And it
week
started
for
to
2
build.
years,
Ramp.
constantly
Started to build.
ridiculous.
Started to build.
It was just like we'd sit in there in the VIP, and hold on, we were probably one of the first people to start drinking LP rosé
At
champagne,
£25
£25 a
That's what it
bottle.
was.
Man weren't even drinking that. We was just popping that. When you go to the VIP, they'll say, yeah, Alex, we've got 2 bottles for you. No problem, just leave them there. You want to come in the
Similar
VIP?
to what we did with Text Me, because making that transition from doing one-off dances to weekly
doing a
Yeah.
It's tough.
is so difficult.
And it is very difficult. So we had to really be focused every week on what we were doing and start planning what's happening every week, birthdays, theme nights and everything else consistently.
You're right, Richie. Having
It's a
been
full
used
time,
to
it's
a
a-
one-off dance, how many of them, and then doing a regular night, it's quite.
Like a 9 to
Big
5.
transition.
It was
You kind of think, yeah, I can do it, but then when the first night there's only you and your
There was a
co-promoters,
period-
you're thinking, well, I've done something. But I think it's awareness and promoting it. And we have to go out and promote it all the time.
it was doing so well. I didn't work for about a year and a
These
bit.
two didn't work.
Wow.
Because
and they had
I
good jobs.
didn't-
That's how
I
good it
didn't
was.
have
They
to
didn't
work.
work.
There's
Gave
two-
up work.
They
I
gave up work.
didn't see a Saturday
Serious.
morning for 2 years.
Serious.
Every time I wake up on Saturday, it was night time.
Serious.
Every time. It was night time.
You made some money.
No, I'm telling you.
I
These
don't
guys
know
didn't
if
work.
I do know that one time.
Alex,
I've got
the
to pay
PC
out.
word is good change.
Yeah.
Don't
that
talk
one
numbers,
time-
good change.
I must have phoned them up in the morning. I said, bruv, did you give me my wages? He said, yeah. I goes, bro, I just stuffed it under the car in the BM, but I don't know what. He goes, who was in the car with you? I goes, oh, there was some girl. I was like,
She took it.
must have done it.
Yeah, see.
Also, you was a Playboy one.
Yeah,
No,
there's
no,
your
no,
camera
no,
that you
no,
can
no.
ask her for.
Ask your money back. Right, outside the brink, Alex's money, bring it back, please. We know where you are.
I just got that money, but you see, we was at the peak at that time, and then I said to Marty, because don't worry, we got another dance to thing, and then we had done a dance on a Saturday, and then I was weighed in again, so I was like, okay, you know what, that's it, and that's how it was.
We was doing at the time Friday big Pimpin.
Yeah.
And then the new
Saturday normal dance warehouse collaboration with a DJ's birthday, whatever, getting paid from that. And then Sunday we was also running Nightmoves on Sunday as well.
We're doing Nightmoves.
We was doing Nightmoves under Trevor, so they're paying us as well.
That was good.
Yeah,
So,
so
we was from Friday to Sunday, we was promoting every week.
But just to go back to Big Pimpin, what radio stations was you using to promote that dance as well?
Choice.
Because I know you was doing your graph.
A lot of them was choice. But I had a friend. We have a mutual friend.
Tina.
Okay, love her to bits.
Tina.
Tina was
So I obviously like to keep everybody happy. So we said to Tina, look, let's do this. But it was quite expensive. You know what it was like. And for that market, you had to use choice.
Yeah, the spot right.
Because you know, it was that rampage era where we didn't use it. It's that rampage era where they're using that sort of crowd.
We did use the pirates on.
Not a lot.
With Lightning, wasn't it?
Yeah, like.
I think you had lightning and bassline.
Yeah, we were strategic. So we.
I remember hearing the advert.
Mr. Williams. Yeah, bassline.
A week before a key night, if it's a week before a key event, we would use the pirate station.
Choice worked
just for a
us.
week.
Choice worked.
Choice.
Yeah, it worked for us.
And we had some great adverts.
And then, you know what, at the time it was very expensive to put anything on choice. But
So
because we
again,
were doing it regularly, it was fun
But
to kind of have an account.
the excess was crazy because we was like, we lost touch with reality because every week we was coming at the club half cut and like all our cars was in the
Go around the back.
round the back.
Pure convertibles.
Yeah,
and
you know, all the top cars, and we used to crash each other's cars coming out. And then we say, no, don't worry about it, we'll pay for that tomorrow, man.
Not
no
me.
big thing. No big thing. And that's how we lost touch. We just lost ourselves completely because we thought, you know what, money's never gonna done.
Yeah,
And that was a stupid mistake.
One thing I would say, and I've kind of forgiven them now, but I said to them, we've got to move West End.
Yes.
And that's,
Yeah,
and I wish they didn't listen to me. I said, we've got to, if we move West End, if we'd moved West End then, we would have been in West End now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Simple. You won't get all these other
You
guys.
take up residence in the West End.
We would have been
Yeah,
West
brand.
End. We would have known all the people in West End, so we'd have had something there now.
Yeah, like the
Simple.
scintillating.
And that's what I
West
said.
End, we
Nick
had to
Houses.
start from scratch. We didn't even know.
But I was saying to them, at that time, now for black people to get into West End is hard.
Is that one of the mistakes you would say BCP made?
Definitely.
I'd probably say that.
Yeah.
Definitely. For
I'd probably
me.
say that.
Any
definitely.
others?
We should have got our own club. We should.
But you say that.
Let me finish.
It's always difficult with that.
We should have invested. We had many opportunities
Yeah, the money.
where
Money
we could
was-
have invested in a wine bar and turned it into a
Into
club
something.
or
Yeah.
a regular, like Kings on the Rye or something.
Why didn't you do that?
They're enjoying themselves too.
We was excess.
He told you
excess.
he'd lost touch with reality. And on that note, because they're balling at me to stop, you're going to come back. We're going to do a round table at some point, a promoters round table. We're going to invite you guys back here. Before I do that, I'm going to leave the last word because she's just been so quiet. And I know there's not much more that we need to talk about, but Miss Beckham,
Yes.
the newest edition.
Newest edition.
An integral member.
What's been your main role since you've come in?
The social media side of the promoting. So I kind of joined officially, I would say, about 2012. Facebook was live there and everybody was using it. And I found that if you were in certain groups, so if I love soul, I love red groove, in each group you'd have 300 people, 1,000 people, 800 people. So if I'm got an event to promote, I just put the flyer in the group. It will tell me how many people I'm gonna view it. And I just sit there and every day or every other day, if we've got an event coming up, blitz it.
Yeah.
And then it became, oh my God, we keep seeing this flyer, we keep seeing this flyer, like you just, and then we moved on to the making little promo videos. I think the first one I did was the dance with Jerry Bascom. I think it was at Christmas.
Yeah, we
years ago.
collaborated. Very best.
And that kind of took off as well. People like that. So it's not just I'm reading text. I'm hearing the visual, I'm seeing the visual, and I'm hearing a few songs that I like, the popular tunes at the time. I might come along to that, and people just start to share it.
So also the the website. She designed up the website. And
So you brought like BCP into the future.
Into the future.
Yeah.
so to
Digital
speak.
age.
I'm a
Yeah.
bit of a geek.
Okay.
Like that. A little bit of a geek.
So how did that collaboration come about? Because like to have the foresight to then move on, as every good business evolves all the time. So did you approach them or?
Well,
was it-
I'll tell you how it started. Is like,
Be very short. 'cause we've got to finish.
Oh, sorry.
She's come big pimping.
yeah, she used to come big. But anyway, what it was, we used to, we're good friends with her parents, June and James, and she said to us one day, you know what,
Someone
you
needs to
guys
give
are
you a check.
making serious mistakes.
Yeah.
Let me sort it out for you. Let me sort it out for you. Let me take it to the digital stage. I said, you know what, girl, go and do your thing. Go and do your thing. And she just made a website, online tickets, all the marketing, all the PR stuff. Leave it to her and we can do her thing. She's very, very good at what she does.
Yeah.
We're going to invite you back too. But
Yeah.
we've got to finish.
No problem.
Thank
It's
you.
a shame.
Thank you. It's a
We haven't even
shame.
started yet.
Yeah, we're just getting
Everybody says that.
we're just getting
Thank
into
you.
it.
To come on time. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks very much, Martin, Adi, Alex, Dionne. Thanks very much
Thanks
for
very
giving
much.
your
Thank
time.
you very much, guys.
Yeah, number one promoters.
Don't
It's for
know.
you to comment on that, share, like, leave your comments, please. You may also want to comment about topics that they've been discussing about, because we may have missed out little bits that we would like you to remember us, to help us remember as well, because it was a long time ago that was. So some of the stuff we don't actually remember dot for dot, word for word. So please share, like, and share your comments and share what you was doing then. Anyway, we're off. And we've come to the end of this episode, the first promoters episode that we've had on Set the Trend podcast. And I have enjoyed it. There's more stories there, so we're going to have these guys back. But in the meantime, shout out to our sponsors, Windrush Bar, Punchline, Mafia Media, Chris, what's just
LVTV.
LVTV.
Yeah.
And Escapism 360 Media. Thank you for viewing with us. And 5-star generals? 5-star.
Of course, man.
Friday.
Although they never booked me ever, but yeah.
We don't do personal every
All right.
So thanks a lot, and we'll catch you on the next edition of Set the Trend podcast. See you later.